What's happening, people? We were going to do the show last night, but I'm sorry, I was just way too tired. Plus, I had done what the fuck Tuesday on Wednesday. So I would have been back-to-back shows. I'm like, oh, can't do it. So moved it to today. And then I was running late because I ran over something with my tire. I had to go get my tire rebalanced because as soon as it was some railroad tracks, I hit them way too hard, way too fast. And as soon as I went over them, I could feel my car start going. And so I knew I threw a weight. So I went right to Goodyear and got it fixed. So tonight's show, what we do is anybody who has a relationship advice question that they want to get an answer to right here, right now, guaranteed, you submit a $10 payment to Cash App at $Debsterism, same name as this channel, or through, what you call it, what is this, YouTube, um, whatever it's called, the little chat thing. What's up, Shay? I can't remember what they call it. Super chat, the YouTube super chat. Anyway, whatever it is, it's $10. YouTube super chat or Cash App. If you have that, that's actually better for us because YouTube takes a big cut, like a third almost of it. So if you have Cash App, we like that better. Or some people do PayPal. That works too. Survivingdating@gmail.com. So if you want to call in something, and it doesn't have to be a question, you might just want to share a thought or get some feedback on something that you already did, or something that you saw happen, or something that you read about online. You want my input on it, whatever it is, I mean, whatever your thing is. It's $10, and here is this is the, um, if you want to do it, or you want to talk on the show versus type in the chat. You can do it either way. If you do a question in the chat, I will hopefully see it or she'll draw it to my attention, or you can just call in and say your question, on the air. So, as usual, I have a couple of things to get the ball rolling so everybody gets their thoughts together. First of all, okay, this is not a question. Vanna, Vanna is always sending me crazy stuff. This is no exception. Vanna sent me this article from the New York Post dated February 16th that says that the average eggplant size has grown over the last 30 years and doctors call it concerning. Now, if this was April 1st, I would swear this was an April Fool's joke, but it's not. It's only February. And they have all these scientific things where they're talking about that they're growing and it's showing. And I wanted to ask you, ladies, have you seen any evidence? I know this is different. Have you seen any evidence of this? That eggplant size is increasing? I haven't, but I just want to know what you think. And if you think that that's not the case, what do you think has caused this great increase in size? This is just too funny. It says it's increased, and a new study has revealed, but experts warn it might not be the ideal reality every man dreamed of. I don't know, no man complaining about his equipment increasing. Sliver say, I wish. Okay, now listen to this. Published in the World Journal of Men's Health, the Stanford University study, wait, I lost my place that went quick, analyzed data from 75 studies with over 55,000 men from 1992 to 2021, focusing on the length of a, towering eggplant. Let me just use those kind of euphemisms. Researchers discovered that the average size had grown a staggering 24% over nearly 3 decades. And it says either the length is getting longer from an average of 4.8 to 6 inches over the past 28 years. 4.8 was the average? Okay, they needed some growth. That's what that was. They just playing catch up. That has to be what that is. It can't be anything else. Why is this light messing up over here? I don't know what's going on with my stuff. But so what do you guys think? I should slip and say I wish that was too funny. Nobody got anything to say? I thought it was amazing. And everybody I know, I mean, I don't know any women who says, have talked about that. They all be complaining about was not there. It says past studies have claimed that pollution is shrinking the equipment, but this study may have proven those findings false. The average American male size rank only 59th in the world, and other research has linked size to a number of social and health consequences. One study found that the larger the equipment, the bigger the personality, while another concluded that men with shorter members are more likely to spend big bucks on sports cars. Yep. You know who else used to have do that when Hummers were out? Remember when Hummers were out? That's before gas was some crazy prices. The tiniest, shortest little dweeby men with midget arms would be climbing out of those Hummers. So it's like it was, they used to call them eggplant extension vehicles. So they would have that because they didn't have, much going on in the pants. So they would have these giant cars. And every guy I saw driving a Hummer was little. I mean, like petite kind of little dude. And then they have, I don't know, can you, no, you probably can't see it. Oh, see that image? They showed the bananas, different sizes of bananas. I was rolling. Anyway, it's the New York Post, if you want to see it. And the title, if you want to read it yourself, average length has grown in 30 years and doctors call it concerning. So search for that title and you should be able to find it without too much problem. I thought it was hilarious. Okay, let me put this over here out of the way. So what we're doing tonight is people are calling in or typing in the chat their own question, and I'm here to answer them. We'll talk about some other stuff too, but in general, that's the purpose of the show. We do it once a month by popular demand because people kept saying, well, when are you going to do another one? When are you going to do another? So I scheduled it for the third Thursday of every month until the summertime when we switch over and flip over and do DNN. So I didn't want to commit to doing 3 shows in a week. 3 live streams, that's a bit too much for me, but we'll do 2. So it'll be DNN on Friday night, and then What the Fuck Tuesday during the summer. And then for the time being, on the third Thursday, it's this paid advice show plus What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice show where people have to, it's a gamble if your letter will get chosen or not. Baby corn. Oh my God, your word, girl, is killing me. Okay, so now look at this. Now I went on Reddit, and they have this thing. I think somebody, one of the ladies that visit here, turned me on to this page on Reddit called "Am I the Asshole?" And I was looking at it. I was like, oh my God, all these people posting all their business and they asking people to judge them. And I'm like, this is just so interesting. Why would you want some people telling you that you're an asshole? I would never do that. But there's seem to be like, I don't know, thousands of these people posting about their personal affairs. And then people, telling them, Jay, you're an asshole, you're an asshole. Or no, you're not the asshole. Oh my God, you're so far from an asshole. So I mean, so I printed a couple of them out. So we're gonna have our own judging here. So you guys can type in the chat if you think this person's an asshole. You can put AH or NAH for not the asshole. Okay, NAH, not the asshole, or or AH, you are the asshole. Okay. So here's the first one. It says, should I tell my girlfriend that I'm dumping her for lack of nook, or should I give her the chance to change? He's 25 and she's 21. So he writes, I've been dating this girl who I really enjoy hanging out with. Our personalities click really well. She's cool. She's funny. We have fun time together. She's super into me and very affectionate, and she tells me all the time, which is nice. There's only one problem. She refuses to make the move to some nook. We've never had it. There's no religious reasons, and she isn't one of the people who refuses it before marriage, but it seems she wants to take things much, much slower than I want, as she's a V and has never been with a man before. It started okay. I'm not impatient, but we're approaching a point where it's just too much. We're monogamous, so I can't get it from anywhere else. And given it's been several months, my high libido is just making things increasingly unpleasant. I respect different approaches to it, whatever you're saving your V for marriage or doing a dozen do a week, it doesn't matter. If this was a poly relationship or an open one, I have no problem waiting. But given I can't do anything anywhere else, and given I'm a man who very much enjoys it, it's getting to be a bit much. She's very sweet and kind, very special, but I have needs that are just being left unsatisfied. Now there's a problem about whether I should give her a chance to change her mind. Normally, I'd of course do that for a problem. If my girlfriend kept refusing to do chores, I'd talk to her about it and give her a chance to change before we got to the dumping point. The thing is, though, I worry that, quote, have Eggplant with me or we'll break up is pretty gross, pushy, and creepy ultimatum to give someone. So I was thinking it'd just be better to make an excuse and then be done with it. So he wants to know, do you think he's an asshole or do you think he's not the asshole? Keep in mind he's 25. No, yeah, he's 25 and the girlfriend who's a little V is 21. You want to do it to someone else's question? Oh, you did just now? Oh, you know what? Dang it, I forgot to bring my phone again. Oh, I'm supposed to keep up with them. So what do you guys think? You think okay? Who thinks that he's an AH? AH for yes, he's an asshole, or NAH for he's not the asshole. What do you think? Let's see. I wonder how. What did he say? He says he really enjoys. I'm trying to remember if he said how long they've been dating. He said it's been several months. But what is several months? That could just be 2 months. Google say hi everybody. Well, nobody's voting. I'm gonna say that he's an asshole. First of all, dude, you're not entitled to nobody's body. Okay, you are a mere boyfriend and you only been on the scene a couple of months and you already trying to make demands. Oh, see, what he doesn't understand is if you with that kind of girl, um, and you know that you want to be all active like that, then that means you should be dating her. This is somebody who sees, the eggplant action and nook as something very serious. It's making a statement. She's not the kind that just sleep around. So if you the kind of dude that want to sleep around, you don't have no business with a woman like that. As soon as you found out what her status was, he should have just left her alone. Because you're not that type of dude that would wait or want to marry her and that kind of stuff. That's not you. Even though you're plenty old enough to, but that's not where you just want to be a little garden tool. And that's fine. You go be a garden tool somewhere else. Because telling somebody like in a situation like that, telling her if you don't do it or else, you're right. It's gross and disgusting, and it's putting pressure on her, and it's just nasty. I mean, if that's going to be her first time, do you really think that would be cultivating an atmosphere of romance and passion for her, where it's going to be a memorable, loving experience for her? She's going to feel pressured into it by a jerk, and that's going to be you. So you're right. The best thing to do is to make some kind of excuse and then, break up with her. And then keep in mind, if you want to be a hoe, that's fine. Nobody's telling you not to. But don't involve your wholeness with women who aren't on that page. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do it to her and waste her time introducing you to her family and all this kind of stuff, and then you want to go and be, all focused on that one little thing. You can't let nothing slide because that's all you really looking for. That you ready to throw everything else away because you're not getting your dick wet. That's essentially what you're saying. All the stuff, this great stuff that you had to say about her. You know, that's why I say he's an asshole because he's plenty old. He's 4 years older than her, and he's obviously been around, so he knows what he's looking for. And if that's really being true to yourself as a guy, if that's what you're looking for, then you don't mess with a girl like her. You just wasted some months of her time. Ain't well yours too, but be more responsible with your choices. You got to pick people who's on the same page as you. That's why I say he's an asshole. Now, if he was, she was active already and, just as free with all of that stuff as him, and just decided she didn't want to do it and was like trying to play him along or something, well, then I could see him not being that. But she's never lied to him. She's been very honest about her status, and she doesn't want to do it. And that to me means that, at 21, she knows that it's something that she doesn't want to do, and that is making a statement for her to decide that she's not going to do it. And and then you be asshole. Definitely be. Yes. Oh, you want me to sing that song? Use a hoe. Use a hoe. I said that use a hoe. You're doing hoe activities with hoe tendencies. Hoes is your friends. Hoes is your enemies. That song. I love that song. Oh my God. As a matter of fact, I have to put that on my YouTube music playlist so I could go blasting it on my speakers. I got new speakers, y'all. Blew my other ones out, so I had to get new ones. And they're so nice. The technology has changed so much since I got that car. So now I have, so my second career as a rapper. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Was it something about reach up in the sky for the ozone layer? Yeah, I can't remember all the lyrics now. I haven't sang it in a long time, but I used to know all the words and just be singing. Okay, so that's this little dude here. Let me have a swig. What y'all didn't know? Y'all didn't know that I know rap music. Oh yes, but I only like certain kinds, like Tupac, Biggie, Luda. Yeah, that's maybe. Oh, and I used to like what's his name, the one with the gravelly voice. What was the name? He was in the movie with Aaliyah. Can't remember his name all of a sudden, but him I used to like him too. And Coolio and Busta Rhymes. I like them too. But anyway, let me move on. Okay, now let me find another one of these letters because I thought this is so interesting. I could do a whole show on that, on the stuff on this thing. Now here's one. I don't know where this came from. This young lady says that she's 33 and a coworker in her 20s. So this is two girls. She says that the coworker slapped her butt as she passed by her at work. I started a new job 5 weeks ago. It's a mid-level sort of role. One of the shop girls is a bit odd and she has poor work ethic. So I tend to be more reserved around here, but I do try to engage in casual conversation at times. That is the extent of our relationship. But today she passed me at work with a plastic object in her hand and slapped my butt with it. I said, okay, out of shock. And she looked very embarrassed, blushed, and with her head down said, I'm sorry, it was an intrusive thought. For clarity, I do have a large and prominent backside. I don't know if she has Tourette's or some kind of compulsive issue or not. And I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. However, I also have an extensive history of being sexually harassed by coworkers, superiors, and the public throughout my life. And this has triggered me. I'm also an SA of survivor. What do I do about this? Aside from discussing with my psychologist, which I will, do I report, confront, ignore? No, you confront. Now now this is a fine distinction. Listen to me carefully here. I'm not saying what she did is okay, and I'm not saying that she should be let off the hook. But what I am going to say is when someone that you acknowledge is kind of weird, okay, she might be on the spectrum somewhere, and she tapped it with an object. It was not her hand. she had done it with her hand, we'd be in a whole different territory. She tapped it with an object and then she apologized. So that to me is that warrants you observing her more, and it warrants you telling her, if you ever do anything like that to me again, I'm going to report you to HR, and then that you should drop it. That should be the end of it. Now I will say this: I've had many, especially white women, come up to me and say, they be looking at your booty and they're like, they want to touch it. They want to see if it's firm and stuff. I mean, some of them have, just be so bold as to tell you, just like they want to touch your hair. They just want to see. I don't know. It's just really weird. And they don't really seem to be too embarrassed about it either. They're like, oh, I want to have a butt like yours. And I'm thinking, girlfriend, that's genetic. Sorry. There's nothing you can do there. It's just not going to happen for you. But I mean, they can develop their glutes and, get a better booty and everything, but it's going to take work. Whereas if you're born with, those muscles already kind of prominent, you don't really have to do too much, just keep it firm and shapely. But they was having to build the booty. And it was, it was one of the talents that I had developed as a trainer. So, they would come to me and say, I want to, and whispering like, I want to get a bigger butt. And I don't want to get surgery or anything, but I want to get a bigger butt. Can you help me? And they whispering and stuff. I'm like, sure, you're going to be working your butt off. Oh, what a pun. But yeah. So I'm not shocked at what happened, but I'm telling you, handle this carefully. You do want to, put her on alert and expect other people were watching. The word should be that this is not going to be tolerated. But, like I said, to me, the defined distinction is there's 2 points. One, you acknowledge that she's, a little different. And then number 2, she did not touch you with her own body. It was an object, like, going by batting you, with it. Inappropriate, but under the scale for me to run to HR about, in my opinion. I think it's easy enough thing for you to just, talk to her about it real quick. All right. Nobody got a question? Here is the call-in link. If you have a question you want to call in about, right chair. Right chair. Oh, yeah, my friend told me that. Oh, DMX, thank you, Kimchi. Yeah, I could see his face and hear his voice in my head, but I just could not think of his name. My friend told me that the girl that we sent away crying because I told her she was fat and looked like a weeble, went to her supervisor and complained. Her supervisor and complained. So she had to run the script. I told her, I said, if that happens, you're just going to go in there and you're going to tell them, that you was talking to your friend on the phone and she misunderstood what you were saying and just took it personally because you was on the phone. And what they're going to say, because she could show the date and time that she was on the phone, and they'll be like, oh, you see what I mean? It was such a setup. So nothing she could do. She just going to be mad. She knows she got, but there's nothing she could do about it because I, set it up so that my friend was covered by the phone call. She covered. So they can't say nothing. I guess they could jam her up for being on the phone when she's supposed to be working. That'd be probably about the only thing. But it was like a 3-minute call, so it wasn't like, no major crisis or anything. Did you do the $10 thing, Sliver? Did I miss it? This is the $10 show. And then I will be happy to answer your question. You did? Damn it. Yes, thank you. They did. See, I should go get my phone because people are going to be doing that and I'm not even going to know they did it. Okay, but yeah, okay, then everybody, if you do CashApp, which I do appreciate, just let me know that you did that so I can do your question. Okay, so here we go. Let's get Sliver's question up in here. She comes to every show, y'all, and just a very wonderful supporter. I have been texting with a guy from my past. We have always had chemistry and have only been friends. He hasn't asked to meet me in person again, just said, I hope to see you before you leave town. What to do? But when you leave in town? When is that? Is this an imminent thing? Like you leaving Friday? I mean, tonight or tomorrow? I mean, what's going on here? Next week, next month, next year? When are you leaving town? Leaving town. Not only that, do you know his status? I mean, he's got a girlfriend, a baby mama, a wife. What's going on with him? There might be a reason he hasn't asked you about. Well, like I said, do you know his status? That's the unknown, the big question mark in the sky. What's going on with dude? You said, he's from your past. That would be my question. There might be a reason why he's holding back. Mm. You don't think he has any game? Well, since you're leaving, wait until the week before you leave and then say, dude, I'm leaving next week. Come on, let's get together. Hurry up. I want to see you before I leave. Don't you want to see me? Let's go get together. Let's do something fun. See, I don't do well with shy men. Ugh, they just irritate my soul. Because I'm like, I'd rather deal with somebody who's obnoxious and just out there because, that's how I am. And then we can just have fun talking shit to each other. That's essentially how that goes. Each one trying to one up the other with their lies and fantabulous flirtatiousness. But, when you got people who's very shy, it's like, oh, to me, I just feel like I'm just like waiting for water to boil and it's just never going to happen. That's how I feel. So you better than me. But I would say that don't do it right now. Wait until it's a little closer to the time. Then because you want to give him a little time to work his courage up. But then 2 weeks go by, you down for another 2 weeks in town. Then start thinking about it, and definitely before the week before you get up out of there, you want to make a move. Just a conversation, just something light. Don't I want to jump your bones for old time's sake. You never were available, so I want to jump them now before I leave town. You're not going to do that. You are just going to go to lunch or something. Okay. Yeah. No, you don't want to do it yet. It's too early. He just made contact and he referenced the fact that he knows you're leaving. So that gives you a few weeks to work. Just never know what'll happen, but you got to play this right. And you can't come off as being like, oh my God, I must see you now. Or, wait till you leave. I mean, there's a happy medium, and I think it's a week or so before you get out of town. It's the best approach. All right. Well, glad I could be of service, madam. Yeah, just let them call you and text you. And, as those pickup artist people say, build anticipation. Bunch of hooey, but in this case, that might be it. What's up, everybody? Anybody else got a question? You can type your question into the chat stream, or you can use this link and ask your question right on the show, right on the air. It's like a phone call, but it's, VoIP through the platform. Okay, so this young lady says she wants to establish some boundaries with her classmate. I have two classes at school with this guy. He's 28, I'm 23. And he has the same major. We sit next to each other in both of my classes, and I have been friendly to him. However, he has made me uncomfortable. Oh, here's this word again, on multiple occasions now, and I don't know what to do about it. He divulges very personal information to me. I know that because of social media, it's kind of normalized for people to talk about trauma with people they aren't close to, but it makes me uncomfortable. I do my best to be kind and supportive, but I feel like he is imposing an emotional labor on me that is unfair due to how we are only acquaintances. Additionally, he asked me, are you okay often? And truly, I am. I feel like nothing I say indicates that something is wrong because he's asked me if I'm okay when I haven't said anything yet. I've simply come to classes, said hello or good morning, sat down, and he starts reviewing my notes and started reviewing my notes before class. And then he's asked me if I'm okay, and I responded with an enthusiastic yes. It makes me uncomfortable because when he asked me this, other people can clearly here, the room is pretty silent before class starts. I don't want any other classmates over here to think that I am being strange, acting strange enough for him to feel the need to be concerned. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It's hard to articulate this in a way that's making me feel anxious. I feel guilty for not wanting to engage with him in a way that he wants me to. It seems like he just wants to be friends, but being friends with him would take a lot of emotional availability. And I'm not really looking for that in a friendship right now. Is that too odd? I have never, I know I need advice on how to deal with this situation. I don't want to stop speaking to him and sit somewhere else because that would seem cruel and immature. What should I say to him to establish some boundaries? Like I said, we are inevitably going to have classes together in the future. So I don't want to be a jerk, but I feel the need to privately confront him about this. Well, what you do is, and I'm surprised you haven't done this already, is when he asks, "Are you okay?" Say, "Why would you be asking me that? What makes you think I'm not okay?" Let's start there and flip it back on him so he can stumble around and make up some bullshit ass excuse for why he's asked you that dumb question. So I'm a good one for asking people a question when they ask me when I ask them one right back. Well, are you okay? I don't know. Are you? Are you okay? Well, why would you ask me that? Are you okay? Well, what makes you think I'm not okay? Are you okay? Well, last I checked, I was. What about you? How you doing? How your mama doing? I mean, it's not like you have to answer him with any kind of sincerity. That's I think is the problem that you have, and you think that you have to answer him and you have to tell him the truth. You could even get real creative and say, yeah, I just left my what you call it, my MMA class, and man, I'm really getting good at that shit. I'm feeling fantabulous right about now. Or I just left the gun range. I'm getting to be a really good shot. Or I don't know, whatever you want to make up. This is up there, wrestling with lions and shit. Whatever. I mean, just make up crazy shit because nobody that you don't know has the right to be asked you that more than one time. And the first time you should have shut that down. They're trying to be nice and feeling guilty and all that stuff. Girl, I practically don't even know how to spell guilt. I never feel guilty. I don't know, but I just think it's interesting how many young women just don't have any spine. They just have no spine at all. Just always trying to worry about not hurting somebody or being nice or pleasing and all this kind of stuff instead of blowing people's hair back and shutting their shit down. Because he's like, "Are you okay? Why do you keep fucking asking me that stupid shit?" Now you say that one time to him right in the middle of class, I bet you he won't ask you that shit again, and neither will anybody else, right? That's a stupid ass question to keep asking somebody. What the fuck makes you think I'm not okay? You sound stupid. Stuff like that. Because I know, ooh, my temper. Probably by the second or third time he asked me that, that would have been the answer he got because I would have just, if my fuse would have been lit. I already have not wrapped too tight as it is. And I already know that I would have just lit him up. Your sneaky link. Oh, you are too funny. Yeah, I don't know these dudes. But you have to be careful with people like this because see what they do is it's the game. They tell you all these secrets, and what you're supposed to do is feel like it's okay to tell him yours. I have a video on the channel about men who do that stuff, that NLP stuff, where they want to find out all your weaknesses and all your pain and your trauma, and then they wait and wait and wait until a moment comes when they throw it in your face, and they use it to just trample your feelings, your mental health, and everything. They just lob it out at you like grenades. Boom, 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 boom. And you would be stupid for telling him that stuff. But that's what he's trying to do. That's why he's telling you all the stuff and just saying, "Well, are you okay?" So he's waiting for you to say, "No, no, this and that happened to me, and oh my God, I'm so traumatized." So he'd have all kind of dirt on you, and then the games would begin. Because once you give him information like that, he has the ability to yank you around emotionally. You had enough sense to know that something wasn't right, but you didn't quite know what it was. So now that's why I broke it down to you. That's the game that they run. That's why I don't tell them nothing. I could be sitting there in tears and I'm gonna just be like, no, it just made me sad. I just read something that online and it just, just thinking about it just made me, feel bad for them. I'm gonna never tell them anything happened to me. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make up all kinds of shit. Oh, I saw this little kid in the street and the dog ran and got loose from him and they got hit by a car. And I was just so affected seeing that little baby cry like that. Okay, I'm gonna tell him something like that. I'm not gonna tell him any real reason that I'm upset or that I'm crying. It's none of his goddamn business. And knowing when you know all the games that men run, you don't never want to appear to be vulnerable like that. It's not to no stranger, not to nobody you dating, nobody you barely know. Shoot, half the time you can't even do it with your own boyfriends and husbands and family. That's why you have to have a shrink and you tell that stuff to. You can tell me. I'm not gonna tell nobody, but you know, these dudes are just not good bets to be vulnerable like that to. They just either can't handle it and use it against you that way, or they wait for an opportunity to use it as a manipulative tool to, one up you. So either way, you keep your mouth shut. To be telling no man nothing, especially when they be asking like that. You don't tell them nothing. Just make up some shit. Okay, let's see what else. I know I had some more of these. Oh, okay. Here's one that's really interesting. Oops, I dropped one. She says, my armpit hair makes me feel sexy, but my partner finds it unattractive. Like they say, you're looking like you got Whoopi Goldberg in a headlock. That's not a good look. I'm 26 and I've been with my partner for almost 2 years. He's 34, is very caring, and adds a lot to my life. However, he has let me know recently again how unattractive he finds my armpit hair and has started asking me to shave it more frequently. Personally, I love having armpit hair. I live in a small city where it's still a stigma for a woman to have armpit hair. I love breaking down that barrier. I also get really huffy. No, I'm sorry, really itchy when I shave my underarms, even with a trimmer. I do shave every once in a while because I know he likes it. But honestly, it just feels weird to me. He even asked after our conversation a year ago. He says he understands where I'm coming from, but he finds it unattractive. According to him, this stems from growing up in a conservative household where his mother made sure his sisters knew they needed to stay hairless because that's how women should be. We almost broke up a year ago over this, as it was his reason for our first big fight. He agreed to let it go then because it hasn't been important enough to lose me over. I'm shocked that we are still having this conversation since he's very flexible and open minded about many other more serious things. He claims that I should be able to do something small like that because all partners sometimes will make sacrifices for each other. I've let him know that if he starts shaving, I will too. He agreed. It's been a few weeks since that conversation, and I'm still waiting for him to do so. He asked me to shave again yesterday, and I can tell he's annoyed that I haven't. I don't want something small like this to cause friction in our relationship, but I don't think I should have to change my body for him. I'm also tired of having the same conversation, feeling like I'm creating drama for just existing. Am I being too stubborn? Nope. You're being dumb, though. You should get a new boyfriend. I mean, you like to look a certain way, and he don't like the way that you look. I mean, what is there? What else is there? You say he brings a lot to your life, but see me, when some people start trying to change you and they start criticizing who you are and how you want to live your life, and mainly how you want to have your body, it's the same thing. Shave off your hair is the same thing as men telling women to get a boob job or join a gym or anything that they're going to do to make get a butt lift, all this kind of stuff, lipo, whatever it is they're trying to do to change your body. You should dye your hair, you should cut your hair, you should grow your hair, you should this and that. Whatever it is, they're trying to get you to change their body to meet his specifications. And my thing is, what you did, your answer was good. I'll shave mine as soon as you do. But he hasn't done it, so you don't either. That should be the end of it. But personally, if I had to have this conversation with him twice, I would be done with him. Because I'd be like, because Deb don't like to say no more than one time. If I have to tell you no, N-O-K-N-O-W, no, nine, all this stuff, nada, all this kind of stuff, and I have to tell you in sign language and different languages and all this kind of shit, then that means I don't need to be bothered with you. You stupid. And I can't. Oh, and she's right, because when you shave and then all that itching, you digging under your arms like you have lice or something. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know. I guess I'm just lucky. I've never had to shave my legs, and I really don't. I'm just not really a hairy person. I guess on my head, that's about it. But like no arm hairs, like a lot of people have arm hair leg. The girls have to shave their leg. I've never had to shave my leg, not one time. Yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't be bothered with him. I'm see my, but I don't know. I'm not patient like these girls. I just don't have it. If I have to tell you, and you a grown man with allegedly some sense, and I have to tell you the same thing more than one time, I'm done. If you special needs? I mean, why do I have to keep repeating myself? You five or something? I don't want to tell you the same thing. You heard me the first time. What you're going to do and trying to do is keep asking me till you trying to convince me to change my mind and give you what you want. How about you just fuck yourself and get out of my life? That's where I am with it. There you go. That's the link in case you get brave and you want to call in. Okay, now here's one of those am I the asshole questions. These are interesting. Am I the asshole for telling my kid that if he can't share, quote, his food, it might be time for him to move out? On Valentine's Day, I got 2 large pieces for my family to eat, and then I went to work. When I got home from my night shift, I went into the fridge and saw that there was still half a pizza left. I warmed up 3 slices for my supper and watched some TV with my cat while I ate. My son got up before I went to bed and looked in the fridge. He got upset that I ate food he was planning on eating for his lunch. There's lots of other food in the fridge. He said he told his mom that he was taking the pizza for lunch and that I was greedy for eating it. I asked him if he would be greedy for taking the pizza for lunch, and he got pissy and left. My wife woke up when she heard us arguing. She said that he had asked her and she had said yes. I said, great, then where's my dinner? She said she didn't make me anything since there were leftovers. I asked her what leftovers, and the light bulb went off in her head. She said she was sorry for not making me dinner. I told her it wasn't her fault that there were leftover pizzas. My son came back into the room and started arguing again that he had already claimed the leftovers for himself. This is where I might be the asshole. I asked him how much he paid for his, quote, his food. Zero. So how much he paid in rent? Zero. Utilities? Zero. We're letting him live here so he can save money while he's in college. But I'm sick of his entitled little jerk off. I told him if he had a problem with me taking, quote, his leftovers, maybe he should move out so he can have his food safely stored away from me. Then my wife says I'm taking it too far, but he backed down pretty quick and said no, he was sorry for saying anything. My wife says I'm being an asshole for scaring him with kicking him out over some leftover pizza, but I'm not. I'm making sure he understands the best way to keep food that I paid for safe from me is to live somewhere else and buy your own damn food. And Pop Up Air, I'm with you 900%. I'm surprised it took you so long to say that. Because by the time he started talking about his food, I've been like, yours? When did you pay for some pizza? See, that would have been me, and that argument would have been squelched right then and there. And talking about you can't claim nothing that I paid for. That's for me to claim. And I bought it and left, and you didn't even think to save me a piece, you little fucker. Right? I know I would be a little knucklehead. And he backed down real quick when he started realizing how much money he was gonna have to be unanswered for rent, utilities, and groceries, plus, car insurance, cell phone bill. The realities of adulthood. You want to sit up there and argue with your parent about some 3 slices of pizza? You good, because I think I would have threw him out that night. Like, oh no. Mm-mm. And my wife would have been yelling and screaming. I said, well, you can pack your shit and go with him since you want to run, you want to protect him so much. Both of y'all get your little bitch asses out of here. And then she would have been upset too. And I've been like, sitting there eating my pizza with my cat. I just can't, I don't understand these people. How they be raising these kids to be so entitled. I mean, I just think about, I would have never thought to say that. And if I had, my brothers were greedy and I know my mother didn't have any, or my father said he wanted some, I would personally be the one responsible for getting theirs out and wrapping it up in some foil or something and sitting it aside and tell my brothers, oh, you guys can eat all the rest of that, but this is for daddy and this is for mommy, don't you touch it. And they wouldn't. We all respected that. We respected their stuff. And so, and if you care about your parents, you're going to make sure that they have, whatever. I mean, stuff's going to be divided fairly. You're not going to just abscond with all of it and not concern yourself with what they, their fair share of whatever food items or drinks or whatever it is. So the fact that this kid just, could even think like that was just kind of amazing. That means he wasn't raised right, Papa. I don't know if it's you or your wife or a combination thereof, but you all was totally indulgent, overly indulgent with this kid to the point where he feels so entitled. And but that's why he got ahead to get a reality check. But see, that reality check is something he should have had that at the age of 10 or 8 or something. You shouldn't be waiting until he's grown and been fighting over 3 slices of pizza. This is a lesson he should have been learned. He should have been taught early in childhood. You don't get to claim shit that you didn't buy. Don't work like that. So, you know, here's another one. Am I the asshole for asking my sister to cover up when she leaves the bedroom? I'm 25, my husband is 27. We have a home together with our 4-year-old. My sister, Julia, lives with us. She's 20 because we live close to her college. She has her own room. Julia likes to leave the bedroom in a big shirt and underwear or just a robe and walk around the house in her sports bra and booty shorts. I mentioned to her nicely to change, but she keeps doing it. The other night she did it again and it simply said cover up. She got angry and said that she lived there too and accused me of being worried my husband would sexualize her. I told her that is definitely not the case, but there's a young child in the home and it wasn't appropriate. She needed to cover up before leaving her room. We got into an argument. I basically said you could run around your room naked for all I care, but once you leave that bedroom, you need to be covered. She didn't take that in the house for the past few days. That little bitch thing, this is entitled. Okay, this is your house. You letting her live there because it's convenient to her and it makes life easier for her. At this point, it's your house. You have rules and stuff in your house, and she want to argue with you about the shit the rules that you have in your house where she ain't paying no bills. Get the fuck out. Get out. Go stay in the dorm somewhere, and you make it work. You gonna figure it out how to pay for it and everything else. Get out, because I don't want to be run. I don't want to have to repeat myself to a grown woman who disrespects me and what I say in my house. So she, by the time, like I said, by the time I had to tell her the second time, she would have been like, call her parents and say, "Come get your kid." That's yeah, it's very disrespectful. And you gonna argue with your sister about what goes on in her house about her husband and her son? No, bitch, get out. And that's what she would have got from me because it's close to her college. That's what they said, JoJo. It's close to her college and has her own room. So she lives with us because we live close to her college. She has her own room. So, but they have these things called dorms and they have these things called like multi-tenant apartments where it's like three-bedroom apartment and each girl has her own room. But see, she'd have to pay for that. She'd have to pay for her own food. She'd have to cook, do her own laundry and all that kind of stuff. But see, to me, when you don't want to listen to the rules of the place where you're living, where people are supporting you, then you go over there and then you can do everything you want to the way you want to do it. But you got to pay the cost to be the boss. And that's what the lesson that she hasn't learned, obviously. And they letting her. Well, see, it's not only that. Yeah, she needs to leave because see, it's because not just the husband, but the husband's friends, right? The husband's friends' wives, the husband's friends' girlfriends. These little nasty little girls that like to flaunt themselves like this, there's no reason why you have to walk around the house like that and it's not your house. Your sister didn't tell you couldn't do it. She just said when you come out the room, cover up. And she don't even want to do that. She just wants to just totally, violate her sister's sensibilities. And it's like to me that those are grounds to get your little ass kicked out in my world. And the husband's friends coming over, they're gonna watch the game or something. She just desperate for somebody to be looking at her. So she walking around in booty shorts and a tank, bra top in front of all these different men, and then their wives are gonna be tripping. It's just the potential for a hot mess, just a disaster. And some wives and girlfriends are not wrapped too tight, and they think you trying to get it. They're gonna come over there and kick your ass, catch you going to and from school, and then suddenly you're gonna be missing or beat up and all kind of stuff is going to happen because she's stupid. This girl is stupid. Some women just do not play that about their men, and they see their man looking at you sideways, honey, it's gonna be over for you. Okay, let's see. Oh, this sounds interesting. This is about Valentine's Day. He says, am I the asshole for sending my girlfriend too many Valentine's Day flowers and making her sister's husbands look bad? I need to establish two things first. Number one, I have a high paying job that often requires that I drop everything to travel without notice. It's infuriating at times, but I get paid well, so I've learned to live with it. And number two, my girlfriend loves flowers more than anything. I get it. Most girls love flowers, but they are her favorite thing in the world. She literally makes me stop the car when we're driving just so she can take pictures of pretty flowers. So early in our relationship, I had to miss something important without notice. To make up for it, I sent her a dozen, oh no, 3 dozen, not a dozen, 3 dozen roses. She loved it and probably as a joke told me I had set the bar and I had better always send her 3 dozen roses or I was going to let her down. We've been together for 3 years since then. I've always sent 3 dozen roses whenever we would be apart. It's a tradition and we both love it. Now on to the dilemma. Girlfriend got bad news about a family member's health and headed back to her hometown a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't join her. Her two sisters came back as well with their husbands. Valentine's Day rolled around, and although it wasn't my fault we weren't together, I ordered a gift of 3 dozen roses and candy and a stuffed animal. Day of, I got an alert from FedEx of a delayed shipment and panicked. It broke my heart to think she wouldn't get any flowers that day, so I called around to local florists and found one that could deliver them for free for a fee. I sent another gift pack of 3 dozen roses. Then it turns out that FedEx managed to deliver the original package. So she ended up with 6 dozen roses, 2 cards, 2 boxes of chocolates, and a teddy bear. She joked that I had now raised the bar and she expected me to get 6 dozen roses anytime we were apart. All jokes aside, I could tell she really appreciated the trouble I went through. The next day, I heard from her sister's husbands. They were furious with me, saying I had made them both look awful. Turns out one bought his wife a leftover bouquet of half dead tulips, and the other didn't get his wife anything at all. I guess they're both going to use the commotion as an excuse. My girlfriend ended up sharing her roses with both of their sisters so they could all feel special, but it was clear they were all for me. Damn. Someone got cut off. Some other daughters' husbands can't. They see where things are going and assume, well, I'll be a family soon. It was a good idea for me to make peace with the other side. It's true in the sense that I didn't really mean to do anything to their detriment, but I also never expected them to be such shitty partners that they thought it would be okay to not even bring their wives flowers on Valentine's Day. But maybe I'm wrong for holding them to the standard I've set for my own relationship. Am I the asshole? No, absolutely not. I respect the fact that you thinking more about your girlfriend's feelings that, oh no, they can't get them there in time. I don't want her to not have flowers on Valentine's Day. You did the double dip to make sure that she got some, but then FedEx came through anyway. And so then she ended up with double the order. But either way, you took care of stuff. You made a promise to her and you kept it. You jumped through hoops to keep it. To me, that's how it's supposed to be. You make a promise to your partner, you keep the promise. And you did. Now, it's not your fault that, and nor is it your girlfriend's fault that both of her sisters married, like you said, shitty partners. One to get some leftover, probably got them from Safeway. The last ones in the little plastic bucket by the check stand. The last little wilted ones that's all bent over to the side like that because they've been in the store all day and people have been touching them and looking at them and rubbing on them, picking them up and putting them back. So the little flowers are kind of tired. They're tired. So they're just hanging on there, hanging on by a little thread. And then the other one didn't bother to do anything at all. Them little flowers every time about they be like looking sad. But I don't know. See, some people say, it's a made up holiday, this and that. Like I said on the show the other night, it doesn't matter. If it means something to your girl, then you meet the challenge. It don't have to mean nothing to you. Just like men like Super Bowl and football and all that stuff here. Don't mean nothing to us. But guess what? We'll prepare you a snack of food. We'll make sure that you're comfortable. We get you a little flag to wave, and we'll make sure you have beer, and we will make sure that the kids are out the way so you can watch the game in peace. We give you the remote, and then we'll get you a jersey of your favorite team and a hat. You know why we do that? Because we love you and we care that you be happy. But if you have a woman who wants like Valentine's Day and you don't do anything for Valentine's Day based on what you think about Valentine's Day, you're a shithead, sir. And so that's her. You should have cussed both of them people out and just told them, well, it's not my fault that you stupid and lazy and a bum. You do better, and then you won't have this problem in the future. Click. You know, yeah, I think he did a great job. I know if I was his girlfriend, I would never stop grinning, and I'd be like at work, like, girl, let me tell you what had happened. He did, and I'd be telling everybody, be taking pictures, have pictures with my 6 dozen roses and all the stuff. When I worked in Texas, I had a boss who, and this was a man, and his girlfriend got him a dozen long stem roses. And he looked at that, attorneys, not the most romantic bunch. And he looked at those, and they were beautiful. I mean, the stems was like, and she paid a grip for him, and so the order came. I signed for him and everything. Then I take him in his office, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" I said, and I look at the card. I said, "Oh, your girlfriend sent these." I mean, he hadn't really been dating her that long. I don't even know if she was really his girlfriend, but this woman he had been seeing. And he's like, "I don't want that shit." And he just like, he said it like in the office. And so, "Do you want them?" I said, "Sure." So I took them. That was the only time I had long stem roses. Because, they cost a grip. I mean, just ridiculous amounts of money. And these roses were perfect. I mean, no marks, no blemishes, no creases, no nothing. They were perfect roses. So, she paid him money. Yeah, I don't know what kind of husbands these are. Okay, so am I the asshole for telling my fiance that he can't have more than half of dinner? So typically, when my fiance and I eat dinner, he eats about twice as much as I do. That's fine since I eat less than average usually. But today I had a stressful day at work. It didn't feel like putting much effort into cooking. We also didn't have much meat defrosted. I remember that I had defrosted some Boudin balls. Ooh, I like Boudin. If you're not familiar with them, they're a Louisiana delicacy that's a mixture of meat and rice in a breading. Oh, okay. The ones I had are especially from one shop because they make them a certain way that I love. It was only a pack of 6, but they are pretty filling. So I thought, okay, 2 for me, 3 for him, a side, and I'll save the last one for me tomorrow. I offered choices of sides, and he chose a salad. So we sit down and eat, and he goes, "I can't eat 4, but I'll split the last one with you." I go, "That one is for me. We both get 3. My thoughts are, this is the one food that I want us to eat equally. I can only get 2 packs a year when I go home for Christmas, and once when my mom brings up a pack in the summer when she visits. He says, "I get that they're yours, but I still got to eat. I eat twice as much as you." I pointed out that that's why we had salad, but he said it wasn't very filling. Defensively, I told him he could have asked to make another side along with the salad. I ended up just going, "Fine, whatever, you can have the last one." But ended up happening that was exactly as I thought. 3 plus salad were filling enough for him. The last one got saved anyway. However, I still like to know which of us is the asshole here. So I think I wonder how big these boudin balls are. They must be big. If you know it's 6 things and it's 2 of you, why would you think that you should have the majority of them and that your partner doesn't have an equal amount? I think that's kind of interesting. Is it rise to asshole status? If he had eaten it, it would be asshole. But since he didn't, it was just conversation. But now you know how he thinks, though, because he knows if you can only those are rare foods for you, then he should have said, "Well, I'll eat something else." There's still some other stuff in the refrigerator, or I'll go grab me a burger from Mickey D's or something. I don't know. I don't think she's controlling. I think, this is a food that she said her mother has to bring from Louisiana, or when she goes home, she gets 2 packs of them. So it's not like she could just run to the store and get them. They come from another state. And it's something that she likes, this one brand that comes from this one store somewhere in Louisiana, and that's not where she lives. So she brings them back with her. Now, they're in her freezer. He knows it's like you can't like run down the Safeway and get another one. And it's her favorite thing, not his. So I think, him having 3, that should suffice. He shouldn't even be asking since he knows that's her favorite food and they came all the way from Louisiana, special treat for her. Yeah, yeah. Her mom brings it to her, or when she goes home, she gets some and brings it back. But either way, it's not like, it's something that she can't just run to the store and replace. This is like interstate travel to get some more of them. So here's one that says, am I the asshole for refusing to stop cooking and eating in my kitchen because of my roommate's girlfriend's quote condition? I feel like this is entirely ridiculous. I live with a roommate named Matt. Matt. We used to be pretty close friends, but over the past 2 years of living with him, we've drifted apart, and I'm just waiting for our lease to get out so I can move on my own. Matt's girlfriend, quote, Sarah, pretty much lives with us despite not paying rent. I won't lie, she annoys me to the no end. She's an entitled airhead who thinks the world revolves around her. Anyway, Sarah has a condition where she gets nauseous at the slightest smell and sight of certain foods. She's an incredibly picky eater, and anything outside of corn dogs or chicken tenders make her nauseous, according to her. Well, unfortunately for her rather, I like to cook. I love heavily spiced foods and love to cook Asian style dishes. So living with a toddler who can't stand the smell really sucks. Sarah has always complained about me cooking smelly foods and has asked me to stop or do it when she's not, quote, not home. Well, considering she doesn't pay rent and spends 18 hours a day at my house, I have not accommodated her at all. Last night, Sarah and Matt sat me down and told me I need to stop cooking because Sarah can't stand it anymore. Apparently, she had a mental breakdown last week when I was cooking curry. She claims I'm making our apartment a hostile environment by ignoring her concerns. I told both of them to piss off until Sarah starts paying her share of the rent. Matt said because she lives there, his opinion matters as well, and he wants me to stop. I told him no. To that because he's only doing this because Sarah's being a baby. We ended up having a massive argument, and neither of them is talking to me now. And they both stand at her mom's house. I say good riddance. At least I did until I told the story to my coworkers, and they are all shocked. They say I'm being a complete a-hole. This is giving me second thoughts of was I the asshole in the fight that we had? I'd say no. First of all, you should have said that sooner. Soon as she said it the first time, I said, well, you can take your ass home because you don't live here and you don't run nothing here, and I'm gonna cook what the fuck I want to cook in my house. Little squatter girl. And then if every time she's complaining about it, I said, well, you could get out. Either throw up or get out. Those are your two options. Because I'm not gonna stop cooking what I like in my house where I pay bills. And that's what she would have got from me. And then I would have went and found the smelliest thing, that durian fruit. Oh, I would have had. They say it tastes really good, but the smell is funky as hell. I would have bought me a durian and just opened it right up in the kitchen and let some of that smell waft over there to her. I would have got liverwurst and pickles and what else stuff is that's really smelly. I don't know. I just everything that's a smelly food that would make somebody like her throw up. I would have went immediately and purchased it on Amazon and had it delivered right to my house. That's what I would have done. Because I'm petty like that. Don't tell me something that bothers you because that's gonna move to the top of my agenda of things to do on a regular basis. Because it gets on your nerves. Here it goes. We're gonna be making sure this shit happen 5 times a day. At least. Like, boiled eggs. You know how boiled eggs smell when you oh yeah, we had just been having a boiled egg feast. Kimchi, especially rotten kimchi. The fresh kimchi doesn't really smell. But you let that stuff ferment out on the counter for a few, that funk will knock you down. You know what else smells awful? But that probably would have ran everybody out the house. Old collard greens. Old collard greens. Oh my God. Oh, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah, but see, I can't even stand chitlins, but you're right. That's what I'm just saying. I would every smelly food I could think of, I would have been cooking it. Every single one of them until I ran her out of there. You gonna sit me down and tell me to stop cooking in my house? Fuck out of here. Yeah, stale cabbage, stale collard greens, all of those kind of green things. They have like fumes. It's awful. Okay, let me see what else we got here. Am I the asshole for leaving when I refuse to eat my boyfriend's mom's food? For context, I am dairy intolerant. It gives me the shits. It makes me incredibly sick. So at 24, I've been dating this guy. He's 27 for 6 months. We live in California. He moved here for a job. I've always lived here. His parents live in Missouri, so I've never really had a chance to properly meet them. But about a week ago, he told me he was going to Missouri for a few days to visit his parents, and he asked if I wanted to come along and meet them, which of course I said yes, as I naturally wanted to meet his parents in person. We arrived here yesterday, and I made it clear to James to inform his parents that I am dairy intolerant. He assured me that he told them and they know, so I assumed there was no issue at all. So on to the issue here. His mom was in the kitchen pretty much all day preparing a meat, and I have to say it smelled amazing. I asked her what the dish was, and she told me it was chicken korma curry. I assumed that she had substituted the dairy ingredients, i.e. yogurt and cream, with something else, so I thought nothing of it. Come time to eat, she presented me with the dish and looked and smelled amazing. I asked her for confirmation that it was dairy free, and she looked at me as if I'm some sort of alien and asked, why on earth would chicken korma be dairy free? I told her I was intolerant, and she started getting extremely angry, saying I should have told her earlier and she didn't have anything else that she could make for me. James confirmed in saying that he did tell her about my dairy intolerance, but then turned on me saying it wasn't that bad of an intolerance and I should just eat it. I honestly just felt backed into a corner, so I started crying, saying, I'm sorry I can't eat this, and I left and booked myself into a nearby hotel. James keeps calling me, saying how he's upset his mom and dad are, and saying how I disrespected his mom by not at least trying her meal. I feel upset, and maybe I should just eat a few bites and sucked it up. The intolerance isn't so severe that I end up in a hospital, but then again, I'd rather not have raging diarrhea. I also feel Oh, it got cut off. Okay, well, I don't know what else she feels, but that alone, the fact that you told this dumb bitch and you told your stupid boyfriend and they trying to get you to eat her just to flatter her and to be sick all night? No. The people who don't have lactose intolerance don't understand the hell that you go through, the bubble guts, the sharp stabbing pains in your stomach, the nausea, the burping, because it's not digesting. So it's like, you like baby spit up. You do the spit up, and it's coming out basically both ends. And so, if they tell people experience that and know what you're talking about, to them it's just, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's no big. You be doubled over with the stomach pains, with the stomach cramps and stuff. It's no joke. So people who don't have that problem will never understand it. So you did the right thing, and I'm going to tell you this, judging by your boyfriend's reaction, he wanted you to sacrifice your health for his mother's ego. Fuck her husband, fuck your boyfriend, fuck wherever the hell they live in Milwaukee or whatever, and then just fuck this relationship. He told you how he feels, and it's not, his concern is not about you. If he was worried about you, he would have been like, oh, mom, she can't eat that. I told you she can't eat dairy stuff. It makes her super sick. So, I'm sorry you went through all that trouble, but we can't eat here. And so we're gonna go. I'm gonna take her to get something else to eat, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Something like that. If he was really concerned about you and protective of you, but he didn't. He just wanted to throw you under the bus for his raggedy ass mama, who don't understand what dairy free means. So that's my opinion. If you stay in this relationship, you're an idiot. I'm just like, mm-mm. I can't do it. Like ice cream and stuff like that. You want to see me die? A glass of milk? Can't do it. I mean, just to me, that's like death in a glass. Can't, can't do it. Well, not many people have questions tonight. We just chit chatting up here, and You guys just listen to me read stories. Okay, and here's one. This is interesting. Okay, she says she's 35 and she has a friend who's 40 who wants to join her friend circle, and I don't know what to do. Let's call her B. She's a decent enough person when she isn't drinking, but even with just one beer down, her wild side comes out. Every other word is a vulgar swear word that these other women haven't experienced in this group before. The last time she came to a gathering with this group, she created a huge scene and was insulting me, very typical as she thinks it's a joke. Another friend of mine pulled me aside and asked if I was okay. She thought I was being attacked, but I assured her B is just messing around because this is how she is, and I've known B for many years. Now, B actually is a good person, but when drinks are involved, she's transformed into this completely different human. She craves attention and must provide her input on all conversations, whether she's a part of them or not. I'm not sure what to do because she's going to be moving closer to this group of friends and is already trying hard to get in on it. Am I supposed to avoid her every time? It's so exhausting. Last time, every time she approached me, I'd make an excuse and go in a different area of the room. I don't want to stop going to events because I really enjoy the group when she's not there. Any advice? This seems so childish, but I'm a straight shooter and I would never insult someone the way that she does, even if it's a joke. And I'm wondering why you're taking that. It's not funny to be insulted like that. I've never understood that when people have friends that they let talk to them like they have a tail and paws, and then the friends say, "Oh, I'm just kidding." No, that's not a joke. That shows no respect. I met a girl like that, and I guess her and her friends, when they were in high school and college, grew up calling each other bitch. Bitch this and bitch that, and so I mean, in her way of thinking, that was, a term of endearment, a way that friends talk to each other. Well, Deborah didn't grow up like that. Okay. I grew up with brothers, and my father was so strict. If they even said anything like, "You're dumb" or "You're stupid," they would get boxed. He's like, "You're not going to call your sister names. We don't want her getting used to people calling her names, and you're not going to start." And so, that was how we were raised. So I'm not used to that. And she did that, and I asked her. I said, what is this all about? Don't talk to me like that. And she's like, she got shocked because I called her on. And I said, if that's how you think you're supposed to talk to me, then we don't have to do this. We were just at the beginning of this friendship thing. And she was like, well, she explained to me how, she didn't mean anything by it and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, okay, then, I won't be that upset, but I'm going to tell you this: don't ever do that again. Because if you think you're going to get into a habit of calling me names like that, then we can't be friends. And she never did it again. It was fine. But to me, that kind of stuff is not funny because if I'm going to start talking about somebody like that, then we get ready to throw bows. You know, I'm going to start pulling out Roscoe or something. Something vile is about to happen if I'm going to be talking to you like that and letting you talk to me like that. It's getting ready to be a problem. And so I don't understand how you can call this person a friend and then let her be around you and your other people like that and let them see her talk to you like that. How does that even work? So you don't know what to do. You have to just tell her. I mean, what is the problem here? Say, look, you can't be friends. I'm not going to bring you around these people because of the way you act a complete fool when you drink. You turn into the most obnoxious just bitch. And nobody wants to be around you acting like that. You think it's cute to call me names? You're going to call the wrong person names and somebody's going to knock your teeth out. I don't want to be the one to put you in that situation. So when I'm with these friends, you're not going to be nowhere around, and that's the rule. If you are, I don't know you. Don't even talk to me. You're on your own. That's what I would tell her. These people are crazy. Okay, and here's my last one. I think I dropped one on the floor though, but this is my last one because ain't nobody talking about nothing. Ain't nobody got no questions. I'll put the thing up here again just in case. Close friend lies and seems to believe her own lies. I need some advice. My close friend is 30. I'm 32. I mean, 30 as well. And we've been friends for years. She's always had an issue with lying, but it's not a malicious person and is very caring and thoughtful. However, there's something odd about her lies in that she genuinely seems to believe them. To make things worse, her lies have been about more serious things in recent months. A few days ago, she said she was going to the doctor to get blood results and she hadn't heard anything. On the phone and later in person, she said that her reports were not shared with her and she has to wait. However, suddenly she started telling me that she's told me all evening that her report was mostly normal and I must not have been listening carefully. Last month, she said she was going abroad for a week and kept repeating this. Then suddenly one day, she said that she's not going abroad this year. When I asked why she had changed her mind, she asked what I meant, and that she told me all along that she's not going abroad this year. It's what so disorienting. Okay, that's what. Okay, I think that's what she's trying to say. It's disorienting, and when I challenge her on the lie, she gets defensive. I have at times decided myself, but I'm not bad memory or comprehension issues with anyone else, be it friends or family. I don't know what's going on. Do you have any idea? Any advice? Your friend might be suffering from Sybil syndrome. You know, it's like there's two people in her body. Yes, I'm going to Europe. No, I'm not going to abroad. I told you I wasn't going. No, but I'm going though. Whatever it is, she got something going on, girlfriend. So, like I said, I don't do cray. I don't do cray. So when people start acting weird like that, like they got multiple personalities or schizophrenia or some shit like that, they're deuced out. I can't do cray. So you good, you better than me, because I would have been signed off on that. Like, are you aware of the fact that you lie like a dog? You say one thing and then you act like you never said it. It's too much. I can't be bothered with you anymore. So we're gonna end this friendship. I don't understand why people can't they say stuff like that. They just like hang on to these situations and these weird ass people and let these people send them through all kind of changes and gaslight them and do all kind of crazy stuff, and you stay in a relationship. Whether it's a relationship with a man or a friendship with a woman, it doesn't matter. If you're not being treated with the respect that you deserve, you should not be there. You have every right to end that association because it's not good for you mentally or emotionally to be in a situation like that. And somebody lies like that. I mean, how can you trust her? I mean, she'll tell you, well, I'm going to do something for you, or yeah, 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 I'll be there. And then she's like, no, I told you I couldn't make it. And then leaves you in the lurch. See, I can't do that kind of stuff. I can't do it. Yeah, she's raggedy. She's definitely raggedy. That's my favorite word. Is somebody's raggedy. Yeah, you got kicked out for calling out a narc. That's okay. You know what? Your life is better for it, Kiki. Your life is better for it. Because if you have people who are so codependent that they want to protect the abuser, the liar, the manipulator, the narcissist. They want to protect that person and then ostracize the one who calls out that behavior. You don't want to be a part of that group anyway. Be like Woody Allen. Why would I be part of any group that would accept me? I don't want to be a part of anyway. I don't know. I just couldn't be bothered. A lot of these people have do stuff I couldn't be bothered with. I just sit there and look at them. But whatever. So I guess that's it for our show tonight, huh? So it's an hour and a half. So that was pretty good. That's good. Now, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I want to ask you guys. As you listen to videos, because there's way more y'all than it is of me. As you listen to videos and you hear a good, like a jewel, a gem being dropped, please note the video and the timestamp of when it started or something. Give me some kind of hint. And then email me at survivingdating@gmail.com so I can make a little video clip out of it. I'm just what I'm doing. I'm trying to do some of these shorts, but I'm too long-winded. It's hard to cut down what I'm saying to 60 seconds or less. That's damn near impossible. But I have been able to get a couple of 2 and 3 minute videos out of it, and we got to do what we got to do. But if you guys see anything, you're listening right, and you're like, oh, damn, that was good. Damn, that needs to be on repeat. Or, these kind of things that you guys say, then please do help me. Help me. Because I'm sitting here, and like last weekend, I spent all weekend listening to videos and, extracting little pieces. But it's so freaking time consuming to try to do it by myself. It's going to take me forever. And I would like to, build up a little stock of those because sometimes people don't have, they just want to get that one idea. And like on What the Fuck Tuesday, there's 25 letters I'm doing. There's a lot of talking going on. So I'm listening to that. I'm trying to pull out the little stuff that's good. And it's like, oh my God. And we got like 7 or 8 years of those videos for me to listen to. So any help that you guys can give, I will certainly appreciate it. Remember that email address is survivingdating@gmail.com. I'm going to put in the show description too for people. And just, send me the video link and where your interest, the clip that you're interested in, what the timestamp is. and then I'll take it from there. Okay. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great 3-day holiday. I'm gonna be in my computer. You'll see some of the little short videos coming up because that's what I'm gonna be doing pretty much all weekend. So I try to get at least maybe 10 or 12 of them done and up online. But other than that, it was fun. It's been magic. And thanks, Sliver, and the other person who made a donation, whose name I forgot. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, if not before.